Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Commsverse session 222, Device Management, Auto Attendant and Queues Reporting with Kieran Mullins from Code Software. Kieran, over to you.
Thank you very much, Adrian. Hello, everybody. Hope you're well, hope you're enjoying Commsverse, and thank you to Commsverse for this opportunity to speak to everybody. My name is Kieran Mullins. I'm Partner Business Director at Code Software, and today we're going to be talking about advanced reporting for auto attendants and call queues, and device management as well for Teams. So quite a mouthful in terms of the title there, so hold on to your seats. Before we get started, just want to say thank you to all of our sponsors for making this event possible today. We're down there, Code, near the bottom in the middle. So I thought by now you may have all had a bit of enough of talking about technology and seeing technology. So I thought we'd do a bit of geography. There's the UK in the middle of the map there with a circle around it. And what I wanted to do was to have a think about perception versus reality. So we've got the UK there. Down here in the Indian Ocean, big white arrow pointing to Madagascar. So any fans of the board game Risk will know where that is. So just thinking about perception, which would you say is the largest out of the UK or Madagascar? You might think maybe just Madagascar. So let's have a look. The surface area of the UK, 242,000 kilometres squared. Madagascar is about 2.5 times the size of the UK there. So really the picture doesn't tell all the story there. So before you start thinking that it's just Brits who've got a level of self-importance that goes beyond anything else, and that's why, let's have a quick look at another example here. And this is if we have a look at Greenland there, so not known for their boastfulness, I wouldn't say. And then have a look at the Democratic Republic of Congo, big red arrow there. It's starting to look like a bad episode of Dad's Army, this, but let's have a look. Which of those is biggest? This huge Greenland blob up here, or the Democratic Republic of Congo? We've got the Greenland, 2.166 million kilometres squared. And actually, the Democratic Republic of Congo is bigger than Greenland at 2.345 million kilometres squared. So really, it's very difficult to get the full picture without having the statistics to hand. And that is the intro to my presentation today, where we're not going to be talking about navigational tools to get you across the world, but navigational tools and elements of insight that you can glean around your Teams platform, your communications platform in general, by using our solution Clobba. So Clobba is a multifaceted piece of kit. There's various different elements to the solution. We've got call recording down here. We've got some real-time wall boards for Skype for Business, hopefully in the near future as well for Teams as well. Around the collaborative element of Teams, using Teams and channels and that kind of thing, we've got a specific module for giving insight into that as well. We've also got a DDI range management tool, or a DID range management tool, which helps you to manage all of your DDIs from a single point of view as well. So Clobba has a lot of elements to it. The two pieces I'm going to be focusing on today are ClobbaDM, which is a device management solution for all of your headsets and USB devices, and Clobba, which is the main reporting tool, presents information through reporting, through analytics, and through monitors, so that you can get a better understanding of how your communication platforms are working. And specifically, I'm going to be looking at call queues and auto attendant reporting on those. So what is Clobber to start with? So really, it's what Clobber does. It shines a light into your communication platforms, your team's usage. It helps you to know how people are using the system. Are they utilizing every element of Teams that you've given them? So from a user adoption point of view, it's absolutely key. From a cost perspective as well, you can allocate some costs to this so that you can understand that, and you could, more importantly, you can understand productivity within your organization as well. So it drives those kind of efficiencies and helps you to understand your business better. We use monitors such as this one here. This is looking at a particular call queue, and we can see here the total number of calls, how many answered, how many missed calls you've got, and so on. You've got some trend analytics across the bottom here, so you can understand if there are certain days of the week when you're quieter than others, and you've got a list of all your agents and their activity, and so on. And down here we've got a call flow showing the path that the calls take as they go through your business, from hitting the auto attendant from the beginning, being siphoned off into those different queues, and the level of success that you see from there. So, but rather than take you through a series of slides, I'll take you into the software itself. I should say at this point, if you've got any questions at all, then put them in the chat, and we will we'll answer those after I've been through the demo. So here we are with Clobber. If I log in here, then this is the landing page. What we've tried to do with Clobber, or what we've done with Clobber, is we've addressed the fact that the value proposition of analytics tools has changed quite a lot over the years, and what we have now is requirements coming from every part of a business. It's no longer just a case of an IT team running some reports. It's actually the case that that many different elements of an organization, if not all of them, will want to have some access to some communication data, and we've enabled that by making it very simple to access the data that you want. If you're a very irregular user, you don't want to have to remind yourself how to use a piece of software. So through this search-based reporting capability, a user can come into here and type in their name into this box here, into this search bar. I can type my name in and look at my own stats. So I can see from a user adoption point of view, am I using video? Am I having regular conferences? This is just looking at the last week of my activity. So if you're a supervisor, being able to access this level of data so quickly, I think is extremely useful. You can drill down into any of these as well to get more information. Also, if I'm an account manager, I want to make sure that I've been speaking to my key customers on a regular basis. So I can come into here, put in a partial number there, and retrieve the data relating to that individual customer through the DDI range that I've put in. So we can see how frequently I've been in contact with them. Actually, haven't, the perception in my mind may be that I spoke to them a couple of weeks ago, but actually it was the 21st of April and they called me, and it was just for a few seconds there. So that whole idea of perception versus reality, by looking deeper into the actual statistics, then you get a deeper knowledge and you can make more empowered decisions based on that information that you have. So if we look specifically at call queues, I can type in the name of a call queue. I can go back to a previous search that I've done, and it will pull up all of the data for that particular call queue. So I just have to go to change the date range there to suit what I'm looking for. And here we are looking at the same place as that slide that I showed you earlier. Total number of calls, how many answered, how many missed. You've got the trend analytics down at the bottom here. You've got the call flow, so a simple call flow in this particular case. And you've got all of the agents listed here. You can see who's been working hard, who maybe has been focused on other tasks for the day. You can drill into this as well and get more information from there. So we get a lot of data based on Alan Goodwin's call activity. We can see the time of the calls, obviously his name, the department that he's a part of, the inbound number as well, which is presented. We've shielded some of the numbers there just for data protection purposes, but yeah, you get the full number presented there. The direction of the call, ring time, duration, modality, the gateway, the call quality, and the data source of that information as well. So an awful lot of information that you can extract from there, and then you can export that out in Excel or PDF as well, and send that on to the people that need to look at that. So really, no reports being run, no real expertise in terms of using this Clobber software, but I can extract and access an awful lot of information. And based, just touching on that idea of accessing information and making sure that data is secure, the security policies and the access policies that you can set with Clobber are extremely granular, so you can make sure that people only access the data and the functionality that you want them to be able to access. So very secure from that point of view, and you can make it so that an individual can only see their own personal data and nothing else as well. Following on with the
sorry for interrupting. There are one or two people saying they're not actually seeing the web page that you were demonstrating. Oh. They're just seeing your PowerPoint.
Oh dear. Well, let me share again.
Yeah.
Do I need to start again? So what can you see at the moment?
That's better. Yeah, now we can see that. Thank you.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
Well, for those who missed it, lots of good information, and so I was on this landing page here, looking at various different sets of data. Just quickly whiz back through that again, just so you can see what that looks like. So this is the call list, how frequently I'm calling my my key clients. That's listed out there. Drill down into this to get more information on those particular calls. I can also look at my own activity levels as well. So this defaults to the last week. I could take that back as far as the data is available. So it was when the system was installed effectively. And down here we can see all the user adoption from my point of view, how many video calls I'm making, how many conferences, how much app sharing I'm doing. And you can see all of those interactions and all of my conferences listed out here as well. So a lot of information for a supervisor or for a manager or for an individual to access the information. We also looked at a call queue as well, but I will take you into that through a different route now, just so everybody's caught up. And here we are. So we've got a specific monitor that's set up for auto attendants and queues, and this is so that you can see graphically what's happening within your environment. It's got all of your queues listed there, all of your active ones. Any inactive or unused response queues would be listed here as well. So from a Microsoft licensing point of view, it's good to ensure that you haven't got multiple of those in there. And we can see which of the queues are missing the calls as well. These are all dynamic, so we can remove the ones that we're not too interested in, and get a closer look at other ones. If we hover over, you can see the data associated with that, and we can also drill down into there as well. So if I choose one that I know has a lot of data associated, click on that, takes you through. We're on this the slide that you looked at for so long. We're back at that page. It's a different call queue, this one, so different set of information, but total calls, answer calls, missed calls, trend activity across the bottom, the simple call flow in this case as well here, and then all of the agent information listed here. And I think I selected Alan Goodwin last time. I'll do the same again. So we can see all of Alan's calls during the time period we've selected, and we can see the date and time, his name, the called number, and as I said, the last few digits are masked there for data security purposes, but you would ordinarily see all of those digits listed there. We get the ring time, duration, all that good information. Also call quality, which is so key when you're rolling out a platform like Teams. You have to ensure that the call quality is there as well, and you can export this data out via Excel or PDF. So lots of information you can access from that point without running any reports, without having too much knowledge of how the Clobber reporting system works. Similarly, if we have a look at dashboards, so we can go beyond the monitor, the specific call queue monitor, and have a look at specific information as well. So we can see here that we're looking at a particular call queue. If I just change that. With the dashboard, you can have multiple dashboards. I've got a drop-down list here of all my dashboards, and you can select which one you want to use for any particular time of day. In terms of the layout, so you can have up to 9 different monitors on a single dashboard, so you can present an awful lot of information. And there are over 30 different monitors as well, arranged into volumes, productivity, capacity planning, quality, user adoption, all that kind of information is available to be presented. And as you can see, some of the monitors present in call lists, some do it in graphical representation, and others do it in sort of more simple tiled wallboard type setup. You can filter the data as well by department, by employee, by call queue, by call direction as well. So if we focus on here, inbound, calling only, and you can zoom in, have a closer look at that data, have a look through. You can drill down further into it as well, and then you can zoom back out once you've done that. These are all dynamic. Remove the internal calls. You're not interested in that. You're only looking at inbound calls. You've got the last hour's list number of calls. You can drill down into that and see that information presented there. Same with inbound call handling as well. So you need to know how quickly you're answering those calls. Any call queue, it's vital to be answering them very quickly. Going back to that perception versus reality thing as well, we can see here we're answering nearly all the calls within 10 seconds, which is great. But if we zoom in a bit more, then we can see actually there's some red missed calls in there. Remove the answered calls, and we've got quite a few missed calls here. We've got 15 people who've waited over a minute before abandoning the call. We can have a look at that, see the list of calls that we've missed, and we can export that out, send it on to somebody to actually give a call back using that presented number there. So very powerful in terms of the type of information that we can present through the dashboards. Moving on to the core part of the solution, we're looking now at the reporting itself. Sorry, bear with me. So we've got a few ready-made reports around the more general sort of areas that people want to report on. But the whole point of Clobba is its usability, its ability for anybody to be able to come into the platform and be able to understand how to use the software. So rather than us prescribing to the user how it should be set up, they can come into here and they can start to build their reports using the report builder and the report assistant to guide them through that process. So setting your parameters, nice and simple. Choose the date range that you want to report on. Choose the days of the week. Is it a Monday to Sunday operation, 7 days a week, or more traditional 5 days a week there? Are you interested in all calls in terms of direction, outbound, inbound? Or do you want to focus more on the inbound activity? When you're talking call queues and auto attendants, it tends to be the inbound stuff that's most important, and also the voice there. And as you're selecting, you go through, then the information, those parameters are set up in the report summary here. And then on to the next step. Do you want to focus on purely in-hours activity, or would you like to run a out-of-hours activity report specifically for that? And we can go through selecting those different items, putting in the data that we want to. Once we've got a bit more used to the platform, you can leap to put it into advanced mode, and you can leap forward to a particular field as well that you want to set parameters on. So I've got our call queue in here already, so it's going to be specific to that call queue. Then I can choose my report format. Keep it nice and simple. Just choose a summary format there, and then I can group the data as well. So it gives us more information, more insight, and you can group by department, by employee, by call queue, by date, whatever you want to group by. Select that, put in a graph as well. Bit of visual information there also. And then once we've refined the report to show what we want it to show, we can then schedule that to be sent out on a regular basis, or just the once, or if we want it hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, or every 20 minutes, then if we wanted to. So frequency is absolutely up to you. Put in the email addresses of the people that you want to receive it, and that's it. Once you've saved that, that will send out in perpetuity until we stop it. But if we just run that report, just so you can see what it would look like, then so we're looking at a specific call queue here for Chennai. We can see each of the individuals within that queue, and we can see their activity listed here below as well. So nice simple report, calls duration, and a cost, which so we can drill down further into this. We've got Alan Goodwin there again. We can have a look at his data, and we can see all of his calls for that period of time. So this data you can manipulate as much as you want to. You can make the reports as sophisticated as you want to as well. You can have up to 15 columns on an individual report, so you can show an awful lot of information without having to set up multiple different reports to enable that. So that is a very quick run through of the Clobber reporting for call queues and auto attendants. Just going to seamlessly change the data set here now and take you into the device management tool. And if we go into here, so this is stepping away slightly from the idea of call queues and auto attendants, but it's kind of connected in that most people working within those environments will probably be using a device of some kind that you need to be able to understand how it's being used and understand how that device is performing for you as a business. So we work with various different headset manufacturers to ingest their data from their management systems, and we blend that data with the information we get from from Teams and other UC platforms. So we can give a really good understanding of how those devices are working for you as a business, how people are using them within your organization, making sure that you get the most from those particular devices that you've deployed. So having a look at this dashboard here, you can see the device firmware. Are we all up to date on all of our devices? Yes, we are. That's great. What devices are we using? What particular models of device are we using here? So we've got a whole mix of different devices. We can drill down into that to see who is specifically using those devices as well. And then down here, we show how well that device is working for you as an organization. So probably a very noisy contact center environment. We've got an Evolve 20 headset here, very good headset, but obviously not right for the environment it's being used in here. 80% poor quality calls showing there. If we go to the other end of the scale, though, the Jabra Engage 75, much more expensive piece of kit. It's got noise cancelling capability built into that, and therefore you see that you're getting pretty much 100% good quality calls based on that data that we're seeing through there. So it's really very much horses for courses, making sure that you've got the right device for the right person in the right environment, and then you won't have any issues when you're trying to service clients who are calling in on those call queues. You can filter by vendor or by model of device as well, and it's got an inbuilt inventory in the system as well, so you can see who owns those particular devices, and importantly you can see when they were last used as well. So if we're looking at the Jabra 75, which is something like £250 I think on Amazon these days, so you want to make sure that is being in regular use, and it's not something that's been put in a drawer somewhere by one of your staff. You can also update the firmware of the different models from here as well. Very simple to do that, and you can have a view of all of your devices, see if you're using any non-approved Microsoft devices as well, see who those non-approved device users are, and see who are the people who are using the approved devices. It's a really good insight into everything that's happening within your organization through the device management tool. So very conscious of time, just leave a few minutes for questions at the end. So just go back to the slideshow here, just to finish off, and to let you know that we're so confident about our software that we give out free 30-day trials, no obligation, of course. So give it a try for yourselves, or if you're a partner, then get in touch and arrange for a free trial for your customers. So thank you very much for your time and attention today. There's my contact details if you want to get in touch. And if you've got any questions, I'll be very happy to answer them at this stage.
Thanks,
Thank
Kieran.
you, Adrian.
There are a couple of questions that have been asked. One is, does the call quality show poor ratings yet as well?
Yes, it does. Yes.
Okay.
For Teams, I presume that is. Yep.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Yeah.
And then Jonathan has asked, apologies if this has already been mentioned, is this only for calling bundles from Microsoft, or does it also include the direct routing? So if you've got direct routing rather than buying a Microsoft bundle for your calling plans.
Absolutely. So it works for calling plans and for direct routing as well. I didn't mention that, so thank you, Jonathan, for raising it as a question.
Excellent. Great. We'll give it just a moment, see if anyone else has got any questions that they post into the session now. And I'd just remind people who are still watching the session that Kieran will be available in the breakout room shortly after this. And I am just posting the link to the breakout room so that people can click on that and join the breakout room for a little bit more of an interpersonal chat with you rather than just a seminar. So we have got one more question here now. So for which vendors does device management work? He's assuming Jabra and Poly.
And all correct. And EPOS as well. So the three vendors.
Okay, so the three core vendors. Excellent. There we go. Right, if there are no more questions, then I guess we'll call it time. Thank you all for attending, and enjoy the rest of Commsverse. And I hope you find some more sessions that are useful and expand your knowledge more. Thank you, Kieran.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.